Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good day, whichever time zone you're watching it in. If you're watching this on recording, then welcome to the call. So I'm Stuart Holcroft, based in the United Kingdom. We're here today to talk about these things called super patches. So if you look onto slide one, you can see that we're going to talk about unlocking human performance through unrivaled technology, and then talk about a business opportunity as part of the whole thing. The One of the most crazy phrases that I've ever heard for a long time was this thing by the chap called Jay Dallywell, who's the founder and chief exec of the Superpatch company. And he said he's here to build something generational that will transform the world. Anything else is a waste of time. Just take that quote apart a little bit. Something generational. Jay has already said that he wants this technology to last for at least 5 generations. So 5 generations, kind of 100 years, right? And to transform the world. And the reason for that will become blindingly obvious as we talk through this presentation. And anything else is a waste of time because, if you think about just changing things a little bit at a time, that it makes a small change, then somebody builds on that change and it kind of goes in the same direction, which is kind of where the medical system's been for a long period of time. And we've kind of developed slowly with the medical system and kept training and coaching. So Jay's here to do something generational to transform the way that we do our business. And disruptive technology has always changed the world. So when you think about the early days of mankind, we had tools, we then got some factories, we then got horsepower into car power, we developed trains, we developed aeroplanes, we developed smartphones, and all these things that have changed the way we've been operated. And this always will be the case. But also, when we solve the biggest problems in the world, we also create the biggest opportunity. Why do I say that? Because if you think about people around the world and what they're affected with or what problems they have, let's just have a think. So there's roughly 8 billion people around the world. Of those 8 billion people plus, there are approximately 6 billion people with sleep problems. Think about other things, high levels of stress, 2.4 billion people, weak immune system, another billion people, low fitness, 1 billion people, calorie control people, overweight people, 2 billion, mood issues, 1.8 billion people. I bet there are more than that right now, actually. Cognitive decline, concentration, 3 billion people, low energy, unclean beauty. And by that, I mean the beauty products that are just not clean and not good for us. They might make us look good, but inside it's doing us some damages. Poor mobility, 2 billion people, and aches and pains, approximately 1.6 billion people. Now, all these numbers might sound very grandiose, and you think, well, what does that actually mean? Well, if you think about 3 billion people, if you take a football stadium the size of Wembley in the United Kingdom, so it takes about 80,000 people per time. Put those 80,000 people in, change them over the next day for another 80,000 people. Do you know how long it would take to get to 3 billion people in that one place? A year? 10 years? Over 100 years it would take you to fill that with new people all the time to be 3 billion people. So you can see the problem is quite a huge problem worldwide. And what do we have to solve the problems that we have? Well, we have drugs, chemicals, over-the-counter products, surgery, exercise, lifestyle changes, diet change, holistic and natural products, caffeine, supplements, and of course, therapy, all of which take their toll. And there are some challenges and risks with those different solutions as well. So there's some things with unproven product efficacy. There are side effects. You can overdosage. You can find problems with safety. Some of them require time commitment, high cost, contraindications in terms of you take one pill for one thing, it then affects something else for which you have to take another pill for. Lifestyle change resistance, regulation compliance. A lot of them are very invasive, and there, of course, is a high cost associated with things as well. So, what do people actually really want and need, even if they don't say it? They want things really to be 100% drug free, non invasive, doesn't go inside the skin or the body. They want it to be tested. They want to be safe for children and parents as well. Easy to use, side effect free, quick and effective, no lifestyle change, no diet change, and no contraindications. So ultimately, we need a brand new approach, and it's time now for a breakthrough. And as Arthur Clarke has said in the past, Arthur Clarke is a great fictional writer. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And if you'd said to somebody 35 years ago, 40 years ago, we're going to allow you to have a little device in your hand that you can order a taxi with, you can pay your bills, you can go around, you can buy things online that'll be delivered to you to your house, people would have said you're absolutely mad. So that technology has been advancing and advancing and advancing. Nowadays, it's kind of accepted as normal. Those days, it would have been like a piece of magic. So that's what we're dealing with here in terms of these super patches. So what are these super patch things that we keep talking about, or I keep mentioning about? Well, they're 100% drug-free. We've got over 1 million happy customers. We've got clinical trial results. They're all made in the USA. We know exactly where they're made. 95% user satisfaction rating. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they are FDA registered, which means that as a non-medical product, that's the highest they can be because the FDA has got its eye on us. So if we're doing anything wrong, they will very quickly step in and stop us doing it. And of course, there are fast and proven benefits. What is Super Patch? Well, it's a suite of all natural, non-invasive, and 100% drug-free performance and wellness solutions for everyone. The press-on patches with their customized tactile impressions activate and balance the body's own neural response mechanisms for pain relief, deeper sleep, greater athletic performance and movement, and more. And Super Patch has been working on this technology for 15 years, over 15 years, to create a patch that can send signals directly to your brain and optimize the neural programs that control health and well-being. And the technology is called VTT, or Vibrotactile Trigger Technology. So I'm a psychologist and I've studied the brain an awful lot, and physiology, we've got people that study those as well. You'll find out later about some of those later on. But the central nervous system, the CNS, controls every physical, biological, emotional, and psychological function in our body. And it affects everything. So a better nervous system means a better everything. So you've got biochemistry, which is the individual parts of the body, the biology, which is the organs, and the biophysics of how those organs all work together. So you can see there that the central nervous system controls everything in our body, and it makes us work as a better version of ourselves. And when you think about the mind and body connection, if your body is working, so if your brain's working suboptimally, as I would call it, you'd be poor functioning. You might have aches and pains, poor mobility and balance, poor sleep, high stress, poor stamina, lack of concentration, poor mood, poor metabolism, low energy, low performance, and poor skin quality. And we know that because every time we go to therapists or to people that talk about gut health, they talk about the adverse effects of the body just not working properly, all driven by the mind. So when we're well functioning in the neurology department, we have optimal neurofunction, increased performance, less or no pain, improved mobility and balance, better concentration, better metabolism, better athletic performance, better sleep, more energy, less stress, and clearer skin. So what is this thing called the vibrotactile trigger technology? Well, the pattern theory of haptic perception states that skin sensation are encoded into signals, resulting in the designated perceived sensation. Or in other words, our sense of touch and perception can send complex neurological signals or messages that can be deciphered by the brain. And our skin, bizarrely, can send really complex messages to the brain, and the brain naturally understands those messages and responds to them. And if the right message can be sent through the skin to the mind, we could help people achieve optimal neurofunction and thus optimal wellness. So every bodily function has a neural program, including breathing, walking, balance, pain management, stress, sleep, immune response, and others. And sometimes those neural programs get damaged or stuck for a million reasons that lead to poor health, wellness, and performance. And the patterns and ridges on these patches trigger receptors and ion channels in the skin to generate signals or messages that flow to the mind and help repair the neuronal pathways, allowing our bodies and mind to operate at the highest levels. And it's called VTT. And if you can imagine, it's like Braille for the brain. So when you see people touching the Braille patterns on the paper, it's the same mechanisms that allow the blind to read with their fingers that allows the skin to send messages to the mind. And with this technology, it's very simple to use. simply open the envelope or of patches, carefully remove the protective film from the back, put it onto your skin, any part of the body, and enjoy the benefits instantly. And not only are these patches dermatologically and clinically tested and approved, they are drug-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, latex-free, hypoallergenic, non-GMO, and certified safe for skin. And we also know these work because we've carried out a number of tests and trials with these pieces of technology. So the first trial we had really was the balance and stability. You can see that in the center. Balance and stability using this VTT technology, just checking how balanced you are and coordinated using a sway measuring system. We've also checked about pain. So we've had medical doctors issuing pain patches to people called the Freedom Patch. We've tried the REM patch in a medical trial, and we've also trialed the Peace patch in a trial for anxiety and stress. And every one of those studies is published on the international media, peer-reviewed, researched, and documented. And also a bit of fun information for you as well. In the early part of the 20th century, 1939, two eminent scientists who later won Nobel Prizes for the development of the MRI system published a paper at Columbia University. And they talked about the body being radio receivers or radio stations passing messages all the time to and from the body. And in 2021, Nobel Prize winners in physiology or medicine was awarded to David Julius and Ardem Patapoutian for the discoveries of the skin and its thermal and mechanical transducers. And that kind of reinforced what Jay Dhaliwal discovered years and years before that. In fact, he met them 10 years before this when they were developing their theory about these transducers in the skin. And not only have we been or has Jay been speaking to eminent scientists, he's also got a supervisory advisory board. And all of these people, doctors in their own rights, have been looking into the technology, trying it with their patients and their people they're working with. Dr. Mark Saker is a very eminent sports medicine guy. He's working in Arizona University. Dr. Marty Miller has a whole range of Instagram pages where he talks about the sports effects of these different patches. Anna Toker is a colorectal surgeon, and she talks about the different effects of helping with surgery and that sort of thing as well. And these people are all very much online with the message of these super patches. And what are these super patches? Just a quick run through the different patches available. We've got the Freedom Patch, which is about pain, the Victory Patch for sporting performance, the Liberty Patch for balance and coordination, the Ignite Patch, which is for increasing your resting metabolic rate, Joy, which is for increased joy and happiness, the Peace Patch, which is for stress and anxiety, Lumi, which is for helping your skin to glow, Defend Patch, which is about protecting and enhancing your immune system. Focus is for enhanced concentration. Rocket is for male performance. Kick It is for enhancing your ability to stop bad habits. And REM is a beautiful patch which is designed to enhance your quality of sleep. Won't put you to sleep, but it'll enhance your quality of sleep, and therefore you'll go through those cycles really well. And also in the near future, a couple of weeks' time, hopefully, there's a new patch coming through, which is called the Boost patch, which is about energy like never before. So I'm really looking forward to that one arriving as well. So how big is the global market? Well, we kind of mentioned some of these numbers beforehand, but the global audience for these patches, these different patches, is around about $500 billion. And remember the figure about 3 billion before. Well, multiply that by X numbers, and you get a lot of people available to look into this technology. So better sleep, 6 billion people, cleaner beauty, 2 billion people, etc., etc., etc. A very well-known business person, Peter Thiel, who developed PayPal system. In fact, he was the chief executive of PayPal. He came up with this phrase of saying competition is for losers. And with Superpatch, we have the ability to stamp out any competition in the areas in which we're working. And the Superpatch company is not like any other MLM because we have 8 clear advantages. We have globally protected intellectual property and technology. So the intellectual property is held by the J. Dallywell family, and they will not release that to anybody, because if you patent things, you've got to release the information about how it's patented, how it works, and therefore it will be released to the entire world and will be able to be copied. So by holding it patented, it means it's ours to use as we see fit. Regulatory and clinical compliance. Again, FDA registered. It's drug-free and ingredient-free. It's monitored by medics, by the Scientific Advisory Board. No change required. There's no lifestyle or diet change required, unlike lots of other so-called solutions on the marketplace right now. We have sufficient products to have a maximum marketplace opportunity. With those 12 different patches and the 13th one coming, let's hope it's lucky, we have a whole different range of markets in which we could operate. Products that work. We know that these products work. We have thousands of testimonials. We have the clinical trials and studies. So we know these products that work. And they also work instantaneously, if not quicker. So they work really fast, almost instant results, and they are life-changing and have the mind-blowing effects in terms of the changing of the balance and the coordination straight away. So what we normally do is we get people to try out the patches, check out their balance sideways and back and forwards, and also their range of motion and their strength of their grips and their finger. And we can change all those things within a few seconds. So we know that people can feel the change straight away. So we like to get these patches onto people so they can feel the differences straight away. There's a perfect price point for customers. A lot of solutions out there right now are very expensive, but what we find is that the price point works really well with most people. Clearly, there was some people that can't afford anything in the climate right now, but in terms of the optimal price point, it is workable for most consumers. And there's also a way of making them extra money as well by joining the program. There's also a cooperative marketing program. So I don't know about you, but I got my tokens yesterday, added them to my portfolio. The company will market on my behalf, and I'll gain the benefits of that later on down the line as well. So those 8 different unique advantages that the company has lead us into being a very market-leading organization. So what you can do in the United Kingdom is, and other places around Europe, is you can launch your super patch business in the super way. So we have a few kits available, which is packs of patches. And we have a Momentum kit and the Champion kit, for example. And you can buy these at different price points to give you massive profit margins straight away, which will give you lots of patches to sell and sample and enough to lead your teammates by example as well. And where else do you get a chance to work in a $500 billion market with a company and product that has over 250 million in R&D and is a proven market winner in just 18 months for less than £2,000? So those packs, round about £2,000 or below, you can invest in that whole pack system. You get a membership, you get a website, you get replicated information, you get the ability to sell products online without holding inventory. But for less than £2,000, you can buy yourself a fantastic business with all those massive benefits. And the most important thing is that within the first 60 days, we want anybody joining this organization to make money back straight away on their investment. So we want to help people to make their money back straight away by doing some certain things. There are various products and promotions available that people can try. They can get free patches. They can get money back from different schemes as well. So that's how we want to help people to get the massive benefits. So not only in terms of their health, their family's health, their friends, their colleagues, their acquaintances, but also in terms of their wealth as well. Because without the wealth to go with it, people will not properly distribute these products and therefore share this amazing technology with the world. So thank you very much for watching the presentation this evening. I'd like to stop the sharing at the moment. And I'd like to invite the assembled masses, if you have any personal stories or testimonials, if you'd like to unmute yourself and share your own story about it now. I was speaking to one chap just before we started to present about all sorts of different things, and It's amazing what people can achieve sometimes with these patches. Oh, Mel Eves, good evening. Haven't spoken to you for a long time. Mel Eves is an ex top level footballer.
Good good afternoon, Stuart. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks.
Smashing.
So would anyone like to? Oh, and Hannah as well. Hannah of the
Good,
family
good
Jago.
people on tonight. Very
Hello,
good people.
I'm here. I've literally just finished my last mouthful of food. I've been eating my dinner. I don't think anybody needed to watch that. You know what? I'd love to share. You were talking about one of the doctors on there who is a colorectal surgeon. So I had to have a third bowel operation in March. I had the previous one 10 years ago, and I had a partner that was looking after me at the time. He's no longer with us, as some of you know. But I was on so much pain medication after that operation 10 years ago that after 7 days, I landed up in A&E with organ failure because I was on so much medication. And I was taking paracetamol, ibuprofen every 4 to 6 hours. And so when I realized I had to have this third operation, exactly the same operation in March, I was a little bit concerned because obviously I'm on my own now. I don't have anybody to care for me. I did have a friend stay with me, and I did have my dad take me there and bring me home. But the thought of having maybe 2 or 3 weeks off, and okay, I work from home, so no rush to go back to work. But I was quite concerned about the fact that knowing what had happened last time, how much pain I would be in. Only I had a little piece of plastic on my arm, so I didn't need to worry. And I can assure you, on day 2 or 3, I actually did a video about this on Facebook. I looked like this. I was in no pain. My first, let's just say, bowel movement after my operation was a bit painful. And all I did is I put that pain patch on my coccyx, and I went from about a pain of 8 out of 10 to about 1 or 2 within 5 seconds. And I'm not lying. I mean, it was transformational for me. Sorry, the dogs just realized what's in the bowl. And I couldn't quite believe the difference. I also wore the Liberty into hospital and said, do not put those stockings on me. I'm not wearing them because I've got other products on my feet. Some of us know what those are. But I had the Liberty on. I'm like, don't put stockings on me. I'm fine. I've got this sorted. And I think they must have thought I was a witch. I mean, they must have thought I was completely cuckoo. But I walked out okay. I was in pain. But when I spoke to my surgeon recently, he said, you obviously had a bit of a wobble after the surgery. I actually nearly passed out in the bathroom, which is a bit embarrassing. But he said, how was recovery? I know you were very concerned. And I said, well, day 2 or 3, I was back on my feet walking the dog. And he said, what? And I said, well, yeah, those the patches I was wearing and all the other things I was using, natural things. And I just said I didn't need to worry. I was absolutely fine. So he was really quite shocked because the operation I had, I should have been out of action for about 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, thanks to Super Patch, everything's good. And pain
Brilliant.
didn't need to put drugs in my body. And that's aided me whilst I'm on my own as well. I think for somebody who's single, and you're thinking about your wellness, it's a relevant point to be able to just walk down the stairs on your own and not worry about your balance is key. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, brilliant. And the socks that Hannah is talking about there were the forerunner to the patches that we now wear, called Liberty. So that's it's fair and well to talk about those socks when you're wearing them, box socks. So yeah, the forerunner to those, which people are still wearing because they still have them, but a lot of people don't have them anymore because they've worn out. So they've switched onto the Liberty and or the Victory patch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very grateful for them. I did have a couple of new team members lined to come up tonight, but they couldn't make it. So I'm hoping that we can get this recording and share it with. I've got some new associates coming in, so over the next
Brilliant.
week well. So hopefully we'll have some more on the call the next time. Really starting to build again. So thank you for putting this on, Stuart.
Brilliant. And also great to see you as well, Hannah.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to share their stories? Either of themselves or a person they've shared the technology with? If not, you're going to have to listen to one from me.
I'll jump in here, Stuart. It's
Thanks,
Glenn
Glenn.
it's Glenn from Canada. A fellow teammate. She's not on the call today, but she lives in Quebec. Her husband, he's in his early 70s. He's been smoking cigarettes since he was 12 years old. She actually said, Glenn, I'm going to probably have an open casket and have a cigarette in this man's mouth when he finally leaves us. He was very skeptical about the patches, and that happens. It's good to be healthy skeptic at times. Anyway, he broke down and tried the kick it patch. The very next day, no cravings for cigarettes. This guy smoked for 60 years. She was just absolutely like she was flabbergasted herself because we all know the patches work. But for a skeptic and somebody that has an addiction, like cigarette smoking is an addiction. I like every time I hear that, it just gives me goosebumps. Thanks, Stuart.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn, for sharing that. And I was just saying to Shiv before that I used to wear the socks that Hannah was talking about before when I was playing football on a Monday night. And when I was sleeping with the socks on, I would wake up the next morning, my legs would be absolutely nightmarishly bad, really sore, really horrible. I'd struggle to get out of bed in the morning. It'd be that case for the next 2 days as well. So when I started wearing the victory patch to both play when I was playing football, to wear when I was playing football, I got up the next morning and I thought, I can move my legs. What's going on here? And then the next day, it was even better. So in terms of the recovery from exercise, the victory patch for me has proven to be a bit of a game changer. And in fact, this morning, when I was doing my personal training with my international trainer from Spain, I was there doing press ups and sit ups and whatever else, and I said, "This should really hurt." But I said, look at this patch, Richie. This orange patch is keeping me going, even at my tender age." So certainly, if people are doing exercise in any format, I can highly recommend the victory patch to them, and helps not just in the moment of playing the sport and the muscle recruitment and recover and performance, but also in the recovery phase as well. Okay,
I give you one very quick success story,
please.
So for any of you that knew when I first started doing this, some of you might remember me talking about Charlotte. She was 14 when I came across her, and she had FND, functional neurological disease. She had the HPV pointy thing. That's all I'm going to say. And 5 days later, she landed up with a permanent tremor, a vocal tic. She was blind in the left eye, and she went colorblind. And some of you might remember me talking about her in that when she started wearing, I'm just going to say the products because it's easier. You know what I'm talking about. Within 1 minute, her shaking stopped, her tic went. She wasn't ticking. She could see everything in color, and she wasn't blind in her left eye anymore. And Charlotte was 14 at the time. I'm very happy to announce that she just got married last month. Walked down the aisle with her dad. She was not in a wheelchair. She was able to dance all night with her new husband. And honestly, even just telling you this is giving me goosebumps. I want to burst into tears because even now, Charlotte says, thanks to me showing this to her, and I didn't even know them. They were just a random post that I saw on Facebook in a group about fancy outfits that we wear on a Friday. And I happened to see them, and I reached out and I said, I don't know if this could help you, but can I share these patches with you that are drug-free, blah, 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 and these products? And they just said, yeah, we want to know more. And by the end of an hour on a Zoom with them, I asked Charlotte how she was feeling, and she said, I have hope, and that there was a solution. And it came in the form of those products. And to see her progress, you know, she got back to school, she got out of a wheelchair, she was made head girl of her school, she's just been to college, and she's now got married. So it is thanks literally to having the bravery to just go, I don't know you, but can I help? So never be afraid to reach out and say, can I slap a patch on you? But it fills my heart with joy to know that young lady now has the prospect of a good life, and she still uses the products now, and her mum's gone out on to help loads of other people and young girls who have the same issue. So that ripple effect carries on, and it fills my heart with joy. I just wanted to share that with you.
Fantastic. And who wouldn't want to share that story?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And again, it's a very salutary example there of just taking that risk of just reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I've got something that might help. If not, they'll say no. And but if they do try it, then there's that opportunity of spreading hope, and also of helping other people who, when they discover how good it is, they can then help other people and other people and other people. And that's what we're in the business of doing, is helping people to achieve great things. So thank you very much for joining the call tonight. Hannah, inspirational as always. Great to see some people for the first time in many, many months. Elaine, John, and Graham, it's great to meet you in person last Saturday, and hope to meet you again very soon in the not too distant future. So thank you for attending the call.
Sorry, Stuart,
Oh.
can I just ask, are you going to do one next Tuesday?
Yes, I intend to do. Yes, I intend to do the Tuesday night calls. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then we could invite whoever didn't come along tonight in
Sure.
terms of guests. We can try and get them
Yeah.
on for next Tuesday.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank you very much for
Okay.
attending.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Thank
Good
you.
night.